Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show all are present. If there is anyone from the public that wants to make a comment, they will need to go over to the table, read the script, fill out the form to make a public comment. The end will be reserved for about 30 minutes for public comments, but we'll only get 3 minutes to speak on your topic. The board probably will not respond unless the chair allows it. So sign up and read the instructions and sign and put your date and your address on that form, and we'll get you in public comment period. Okay. After discussion was held by the board, a motion was made by and seconded to approve the consent agenda.
We need to amend the agenda for today too.
Yep,
Remove 2A.
Check my,
2A and 3B.
So moved.
Okay,
second.
discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, Pam. Planning and Development, second consideration for ordinance number 2025, got it, -01, parent ZTA -2024-03, an ordinance to amend Potawatomi County, Iowa zoning ordinance, chapter 8004095, accessory dwelling units.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Discussion?
I've been reading a lot more about the housing shortages that we've got, not just here in Pike County, but across the nation. And they're seeing these accessory dwelling units as a solution to those problems, allowing elderly parents to live closer to their kids. And it opens up those 3 and 4 bedroom homes for other families to move into. So I think this is a step in the right direction, and I am in support of this ordinance change.
This one isn't family related.
It doesn't have to be. It
This is
could
for
be.
anyone.
Yes.
Right.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes.
Was that
Hold
a
on.
roll call?
Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call. Yeah, you're right. There we go.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Shea,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Sure. Okay. Discussion and decision to approve funding request for Southwest Iowa Planning Council, SWIPCO, for fiscal year 25-26. Thanks, Pam.
Thank you.
For membership dues and to approve $11,610. Is nobody from SWIPCO going to show up?
No, I'm on the SWIFTCO board. And I will make the motion to approve this membership dues for $11,610. 75,000 is the total SWIFTCO budget for membership dues. And currently SWIFTCO is working with Oakland on a CDBG, Macedonia. They're getting ready to work, helping with water. They've been working with Craner on zoning plans and with the city of Walnut on their city code.
I'm gonna second that.
Okay, so I guess I'm still curious why nobody showed up.
Those are the same dues as last year, right?
Right. But they normally show up.
Well, it would be nice to hear from.
Right, well, you guys should know who they are,
Right.
as some of us have been here and know exactly who they are, and some of the others may not.
We're having a board meeting on Thursday that I'm planning to attend, and I will carry that request forward. Do you want them to come in and present?
Down the road, sure. John?
Yes.
Yeah, John
Yes.
should be here. McCurdy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he should be on here.
But do you want him before we approve this?
No, I
or
don't have a problem with
just
that.
getting
I
an
mean, this
update?
is, you know, just, yeah, an update would be
Yeah, I
nice.
don't know myself. I don't know much about. You know,
I mean,
I'm part of that overseeing.
they've always, this will be the first time, I think, since I've been here that they didn't show up, so. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, discussion and decision to approve funding request for Southwest Iowa Transit Agency, SWIDA, for FY 25 / 26 in the amount of $6,000.
So moved. Second.
And
Any discussion?
their total budget in this category is 81,000. And just as a noteworthy, they purchased 3 new buses in October of 2024 for $500,000.
Wow.
They get quite a bit of federal money to do those deals. And they were really a good partner when we had the COVID stuff. And when they got a pretty good size setup down on Nebraska Avenue down in the west end there.
Mhm.
So they do a lot of transport of a lot of people from Pot County.
And they even travel from from Omaha out to OSI on a regular basis.
Yep. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Discussion and or decision on procedures for how the board handles claim processing.
I asked for this to be put on the agenda. Becky Lenahan had sent out the instructions on the form. And I know that the Board of Supervisors, we all have to approve the claims overall as they get submitted from accounts payable.
Not all of us have to approve them.
Okay.
3 of us.
Three of us have to approve them, but for the expenses that are from the Board of Supervisors, we need somebody within the office, and I thought that our chief financial officer would be the signer for those bills, just to make sure that they are coded correctly, that they're coming out of the right project plan. And I just didn't know, we have to fill out the form because we can't act individually. So I didn't know if we'd already done this, or I figured it took board action to
Never
approve.
happened before. And I think there's a resolution, which I was gonna have Jeanette put out, that we should have added to it on January 2nd about how we were gonna handle these claims.
Okay,
That should, then once it's in the resolution on January 2nd, then we're down the road, because they list out about 4 other things in that resolution that we have to pay for and approve. I don't know why this,
do it this year.
it's never, until this popped up, it, you know, it didn't dawn on me, because I remember in the January 2nd, reading this resolution about we need to pay this outfit, and this outfit, but it didn't talk about the day-to-day operations of claims. But the claims for whatever it was, hospital, I can have it printed out and I'll show it to you. This was on January 2nd's resolutions, passed along with the other resolutions for John and the other people. So I'm not in favor of letting a non-elected official take responsibility for what we're responsible for.
but we can't act individually, so it would
We
take
give
all,
them the stamp.
we'd have to approve each bill that the Board
No.
of Supervisors approves at a board meeting,
No,
unless we have that resolution in place that says what?
it hasn't been in place, but we'll get it in place. I don't, that form doesn't apply to us as far as I'm concerned.
Seeing the resolution.
Well, I'll have her printed out
Okay. Really like to see that.
So we
Okay.
need to put it on the agenda for
next time.
next
Next
week
week.
Sure.
to get it corrected.
To see if we can amend it.
Oh, I just know that when I get my email to approve
Right.
claims, that when I see things for the Board of Supervisors, I know that Mitch has looked at it and that it's properly coded and that if it's a capital expense, that it goes against the right project. And I don't have to overthink it. I don't have to work it back to make sure that it's been approved. I can keep the process going forward. And I just don't want to be taking a step back and having to ask more questions when it comes to Board of Supervisor claims.
Well, Mitch is human like the rest of us. He'll make mistakes. The auditor's office is supposed to be doing all that, things that you just spoke about. So I'm just not comfortable with letting non-elected people take on our responsibility.
With all due respect, Scott, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
We have department heads like secondary roads, planning and development, mental health. I mean, you go right on down the line, GIS. We put those department heads in those positions to be responsible for those particular departments. And if we took them out of the chain, I think that's
I'm not
irresponsible.
taking them out of the chain.
Well, you just said only elected officials.
No, for Mitch,
Well, I misunderstood you.
that's what I'm saying. I don't want Mitch to take on the liability of the board's responsibilities.
The only thing is, I'd like to see the claims come through, especially when we have all these capital projects
Well,
and
you can
construction
see
in
it.
process.
It's public
But
record.
but if someone from another department brings one up to Jeanette and someone from the board signs the claim and it goes to the auditor's office, I never see it.
Well,
I
we can
run
fix that.
That's why it's nice for me to initial off or sign off on at least the capital projects that are coming through.
We can fix that.
I don't have any issues with you doing that, Mitch. I don't know what the rest of the board thinks. I mean, it's been working fine for 4 years.
Well, I certainly think our budget director ought to be, aware of everything that's, money's being spent, where it goes, where that.
And the only things that I ever sign are things that you guys specifically approve in meetings, and I reference those in the claim, approved by the board minutes on this date and this date. So it's just, I mean, it still comes back around for you guys to, all three of you to agree to sign on. I mean, I think it's improved the process a lot. And even like when we had, when we were without a medical examiner for a while, I was reviewing and signing those claims too, subbing in for the department head that wasn't currently there. I mean, I thought it was a good practice, but we've never had any formal discussion on it either, so.
Well, if it's coming through us anyway. Seeing it. We have to approve it on the daily sheet, right?
Don't sound like it. If he approves it, we probably don't see it.
Oh, yeah, it still goes on. It's all right there for every one of us to see.
Yeah, the claims don't
So
get
we're
paid.
approving it and then he's reapproving it?
No. He submitted the claim.
Who did?
Mitch,
Okay,
Just like a regular department head does.
okay. But
then-
then we approved it.
we approved the expense in a prior meeting.
Okay,
Mitch takes care of the claim, signs it, sends it to the auditor's office. The auditor's office gets ready to write the check, sends us a list of all the warrants that will be sent out that particular day or that whatever. Takes the rest to approve it before she can do it. It's working fine. I like it, actually.
it'd be nice if all five of us approved those claims. Good job. So it sounds like we approve it.
And everybody's in the loop, which includes our financial officer. I'm just afraid that something will slip through and we'll go over budget because we missed something that didn't route across his desk. I mean, if this form isn't appropriate for us and we can fix it through the resolution,
In my understanding on that form is that form is asking department heads to list who can sign for their department, right? So like, you're not having every department head fill one of those out. They would have control over their own budget. Anyway, that's what's granted to them, when you guys approve their budget. So I mean, I'm definitely the kind of the wild card where I'm the department head, but you guys are my bosses at the same time. So it's just trying to find where I lie. I guess I'm kind of the outlier here. But as far as I would say as a department head, and department heads aren't required to have that, I think the practice that we currently have is probably just fine without anything going on.
Did we bond you then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
On that sheet.
So
So what do you guys want to do?
or whatever we have to do to keep Mitch in the loop.
I think we just continue right on down the road like we do with all of our other departments and.
We need a decision.
You guys.
If that's what you want, what are we doing with this form? Anything?
Well, this form allows us to put a cap on the dollar amount. That makes a difference.
Don't know that we've ever been limited by that before, but
What is the cap?
Whatever we decide it to be.
Should we not put that in the resolution?
So you want to bring it back next week and do a resolution?
I would really like to see
Yeah,
that.
I would.
I would.
I would prefer that too, because I'm gonna have to take a look at this more so than just what we're sitting here discussing. I mean,
Okay.
I don't, is it the board's goal to limit our department heads what they can sign for?
no,
this
not
ain't got
me.
nothing to do with department heads.
This is how
That's what,
Claims are
that's what
paid by-
this sheet says.
That's we're not a department head.
So we're
That's
not doing
actually-
anything.
We don't.
We're not doing
That's
anything
sheet
with
they
this.
can, you throw away as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with that.
For the Board of Supervisors claims,
Right.
and then the county.
Our stuff, so all of our stuff's public record, full disclosure. If someone makes a mistake, they make a mistake, we correct it, and life goes on. But we all need to be responsible for the purse or pocketbook, whatever you want to call it, credit card. We're the ones that are responsible.
Right. Correct.
So Mitch, was there an issue with you being responsible for the medical examiner's position? Okay, and there's nothing that needed to be done?
Nobody was aware of it, though.
Okay, well, that's what I'm gonna ask next. Would it work if it was just submitted a request for you to become, temporarily become that department head, or is that just not, that's not even?
It's out of the question now. We have a
Yeah.
department head there.
Yeah, now it is, yeah, but when I say an interim, it could be another department head or whatever. Just temporarily, that office is temporarily vacant.
yeah, I mean, when someone doesn't know what their budget and what their budget lines are, obviously they're gonna come to me and ask them, is this the
Right.
right place for this expense to go? And then I initial off on it, send it across, and just like, Becky reviews all the bonds and all that stuff, she initials off on that if a department's using those. I mean, we have our checks and balances there for a reason.
Okay, so you have no issues the way things are operating right now then, right?
Do not.
Okay.
And Becky, now you and
And this
Dixie.
form is another thing that's kind of required requested by the state auditor, so that we know who can sign the form, who can sign the claims, if it's not the department head. It has nothing to do with the board. If the board can all sign them, then we don't need this, but say John turned one in to have Tina sign off on the claims, then we have to have that so that we can know that and be able to show the state auditors that there's record of that.
It has nothing to do with us. It has to do with John.
Well,
And
then-
okay, then, yes, it has nothing to do with your claims.
Right,
It went out to every department head and elected official.
I understand.
Okay, just,
Can you
we
make
need it
that,
for,
can you make that a writable PDF, Becky, so it's electronically done? And get away from this paper stuff? I mean,
well, we have to have the actual signature.
is this required by the state auditor?
They've
Sure.
asked for it. And ask who can sign claims.
No, I ask you, is it a requirement for us to do this?
They requested it.
For the board.
Oh, for the board? No, I don't believe so. They just want anyone that's not an elected official or department head to sign one of these and have it signed by that department head. Well, others to sign, say like for me to sign, or Tina. Who else is in here?
Tina in lieu of John, is that what,
Shanna,
is that
like,
what, is that what that
have-
form is?
Heather. Pardon me?
For Tina in lieu of John, is that what that form is?
Exactly, that's what this form is for.
Okay, and we don't have, currently, we don't have that process in place.
You guys don't. If you don't want, if you want Mitch to sign, then yes, I want one of these forms on record so that we can show the state auditors.
Can you fill out one of those forms for me? For us? All right. You need approval. You want approval for that, Scott? Is that what you want?
No,
Okay.
we don't need the form.
I'm big into workflows, and I want to see how the claims process, who all touches them. And
They're all public.
and how it's all approved through. Who all touches them? I just want to make sure we're not changing a policy or a practice that eliminates somebody that was a key person in the beginning.
And we need to see that form if it's ever needed.
Right.
Be passed through us.
For the department heads.
Do a resolution. We ask the department heads which,
Right.
who can sign for them, and we put it in a resolution, we're done with it.
Yep.
Tim, should we do that every year?
Yes, at the start of the year.
January 1st or 2nd, whatever?
Yep, I would say so.
Add it to the group of bills we have to pass, or, things we have to pass.
Yeah,
We can ask Jeanette to get that information and put it in a resolution and move on with it next week.
yeah.
So we don't do anything here.
Okay.
We're moving on.
Moving on.
Okay. Okay, we got, that's gone. Committee appointments. Yep, you want to start?
I was, actually, Southwest Valley Juvenile, Pensions, meeting. Things are looking good. They did say, they did bring up, it's starting to become an issue, and I'll just let you know. Currently in their facility, they only have one commons. But now there's, at times when they'll be, retaining, for instance, two occupants that can't be in contact with each other. Maybe they're involved in the same case. Maybe it's a gang rivalry, that kind of thing. And so they're looking to do something along those lines of being able to separate them, not just sleeping quarters, but in the commons areas too. And so they're looking at what they can do along those lines. And that's becoming an issue, just let you guys know.
Are they gonna have to add on to fix that, or? do
Well,
they
I
have-
don't know what they're looking at, but it could be a possibility. I mean, they're taking a look at what needs to be done to correct it, because sometimes it's a judge's order too, that they not be in contact with each other at the facility. Every, period. And they only have one commons among all the detention people. So we'll have to take a look and see what can be done.
Okay.
That's it. That's it for me.
Went to the VA last week. Their signs are in manufacturing and they're supposedly gonna have them late February, sometime in March. They'll have them up. Went to the Council Bluffs Visitor Bureau for their budget meeting. Done conservation. Spent 2 days in Des Moines with the ISEX conference. And then I had some different meetings on Friday, so. And then yesterday, we had off.
Some of us did.
So, you worked?
Yeah. No. Susan?
I attended the Carson City Council meeting last Monday when they appointed another councilman, so now they're fully staffed and ready to move forward. I attended the Thriving Families Zoom call, and we're working on the 28E agreement here in Pot County so that we can get it aligned with the benefits, and we've got a meeting set up to get that resolved before the end of the month. And then on committee assignments for this week, it's not listed, but I do have a SWIPCO meeting on Thursday at the same time as NAPA.
I had a meeting yesterday, unbeknownst to you being in, not working. Had a meeting with Iowa West yesterday. They gave kind of an update on what's going on with the landscape as far as Nebraska and the Indian Casino and such. And then West Pot Soil Water Conservation, Thriving Families. That was an interesting trying to be part of that as I was sitting in my car. And then I was in ISAC along with Supervisor Shea. Had a pretty heated discussion, John, about roads at the supervisor meeting. Brian was trying to, what should I say? Him and the engineer from, where was that guy from? He went from Dubuque, was he? We're trying to facilitate a meeting. People were wanting to know about roads and how things are done with roads. And apparently a traffic count has very little percentage of what we do with a road, which is really shocking to me. Traffic count and speed would be two of the top things I would think would be considered when doing roads. But that flew way over their head. And I didn't realize, which makes sense now, that construction industry lobbyists have taken over the ability to have us put a certain type of road in. That makes sense to you?
A lot of the advertisement and letting procedures, I don't know if material wise.
Pardon?
I don't know material wise it limits me, but those groups definitely make it easier.
Well, they indicated that we really can't do a concrete road, an asphalt road, or we can do seal coat, and we can do, what was the other one? There was one other one that we would be able to do without, you have to stay under the, whatever our threshold is,
Okay. Yeah.
or you gotta go out for bid. So, I mean, that pretty much limits you. I mean, who does a road a quarter mile at a time? You know, I mean, that just doesn't happen.
Maintenance was one of the others.
Well, you know, they couldn't really define maintenance.
No, they couldn't. They couldn't. They were stumbling all over up there.
Well, if I take 2 inches off, and put 2 inches back on, I call
I think it could go to 3 inches, wasn't it, Scott?
Yeah,
Isn't that what they
I
said?
mean, they weren't,
They could
They-
do 3 inch, but they were like,
they weren't being real transparent. The one guy that was the engineer, he's an engineer for 2 counties, over there. He spends half time with one and half time with the other.
Andrew McGuire, maybe?
What's that?
Andrew McGuire?
I'll have to,
I'd have to look at my
I'll pull it
notes.
up, John, let you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely are limited how we do stuff by those thresholds. When I did bridge materials, we bid the bridge materials and we build the bridge. That's what I'm doing, is going around the contract requirements. I'm required to let the contract this amount, but I can still do day labor that amount, so. It hasn't really let us get into paving. I think Des Moines really got into paving. I don't know how they did it, but
Oh, no, don't tell me that. You mean Polk County?
no, like the city of Des Moines has.
Well, the cities can do, the
Yeah, the
cities,
cities can do different, because Southwest has a paving group.
yeah, cities are different than the counties.
I don't think any of the counties have cracked the code on paving, but.
Yeah. Okay.
there was something about a 75% rule.
Yeah, I don't,
I tried to follow that.
those,
Where
those,
if you can get your budget lowered and you can't get it back.
oh, that's coming up on the,
House fund.
yeah, but
They talked about that.
But a lot of them didn't, that were there, they were new, there was a lot of new people there that newly elected that didn't know that it didn't have to be a bridge to be, inspected. If it's over 50 foot, then you have to inspect it no matter what it is. So there was lessons learned for people. So, okay, nothing else?
They were good. You're on that team, aren't you?
On the ICAs.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm with that one.
Your name was listed and
Oh.
I kept looking.
Okay. Put on,
Very interesting stuff.
So they must have had a big turnout.
yeah, well, you had
think there
new
was.
sheriffs. We got a new sheriff down in Mills County, which used to be a police officer, Greg Schultz, which I didn't know. They had the sheriffs, they had the auditors. I want to say was it 33 new auditors?
30.
30 new auditors. And then, I can't remember how many new supervisors there was. There must have been close to another 30, I suppose. Sheriffs, I think there was probably like 15 or 18 new sheriffs. So yeah, there was a pretty decent.
Did you learn a lot in your class?
Some.
Yeah. They repeat it all the time, but it's good to go and kind of learn
Okay,
it by osmosis, I guess, and keep going back.
we're gonna move on to public comment. We got any public comment? Okay. You need the pedestal?
rules.
No, I can.
I mean, I don't know if you want it or not. It was always
I'm
said that
asking
it had to
you,
be
you're the
behind.
customer at this
Okay.
point.
Oh, okay, well, Shauna Anderson, 19377 340th Street. I just want to